Hey guys and girls, welcome back to Poormans Bushcraft. From time to time we have gear that gets tore up out in the field, and a lot of you carry a sail needle and or just the biggest needle you can find from your local Walmart or sewing store. Got a cool alternative here for you. I think you guys are gonna like this, and it's gonna make sewing those heavy straps and stuff on your gear, the webbing going through that 500 to 800D Cordura. I mean, it's just hard to do that with a sail needle and just, trying to do it with your hands. So what I've got here for you guys to check out is this little jewel from Tandy leather. There are lesser versions of this out there, and they are hard to use. This one has been the easiest one I've ever found to use. Starting at the back end here, we have a wooden handle. And the cool thing about this wooden handle is it actually threads out to stow away the wrench / screwdriver for this area here. As well as for storage, if you want to take the needle off, it works just like a drill in the sense that this goes over. It loosens that chuck, the needle will come out, and then you can put the needle and the wrench in here, or throw some spare needles in here so you have those. There are different styles of needles. They have some that are kind of crooked over on the end. I think those are for doing upholstery and stuff like that. But this is such an awesome design. What it does is does a lock stitch, and to change this out, you just use that little screwdriver that was in there, and you'll back this nut out. And this part right here is actually threaded, so there's no nut to lose, just the screw. And a few other things. Let me show you real quick. Once you've emptied the thread on this, you can put your own thread on there. It's just, I don't know exactly what the diameter of this thread is, but you can go through Tandy, and they sell new spools in let's see, we got a brown and a black here. There's the brown, there's the black. You can get a white, so it's pretty much like where you want to be with what color you want to use. For the black gear, you got your black. For your camouflages, you can use brown, and on your your leathers and stuff, you can use the white. So that's cool. And yes, this does work really good with leather as well. It is from a leather company, and it's based to do that kind of sewing, but I like it for the heavy duty canvases and the other thing. And then you can get replacement needles of different sizes and shapes and what have you, for the different purposes. Now, as a quick example, I'm going to try to show you how to use this. If you're using this with leather, you'll have that little wheel, and you'll go through there, and it'll cut it'll mark out a line, and each of the little tips on the star will measure out a determined stitch amount. But as an example, so on this piece of cardboard right here, we're going to go up here, so this gives me a good area. Let's say if this was some webbing and some heavy-duty Cordura. Find a marker that you can see that doesn't stand out on the material so much so it later, and then with a ruler, basically what you can do is just mark out however far you want the stitches apart. So say like a 1/4 of an inch, and go down through there and hit that 1/4 or 1/8 of an inch, or however far it is you're going to do it, and just give yourself a line to follow, and that'll help you a lot in this. If you're going to be using this on leather, get you one of those wooden vices that hold the leather, because this can get really spooky. Now basically what you want to do is just take this and give yourself a little bit of thread, and you're going to find your first hole, and you're going to go through it. Now once you're through it like this, you're going to find that thread that's loose, and you're going to go ahead and pull it on all the way through to the other side, and that's what's going to be your lock. Little keynote: if you know how long your stitch line is going to be, go ahead and pull out, you know, a little bit more than what your stitch line is actually going to be, because as you're using it, you're going to shorten it. Okay, so now here's the fun. We're going to pull this back out. We're going to hold that thread, and we're going to go to our next stitch, and we're going to poke through. And we're going to slightly pull down, and you see that little dimple that I got? That thread that we left over there the first time is going to go through that, and then just lay down, and then we'll pull our needle back through. And basically what it did was it lassoed that one, and it's going to lock it down. So going again, we go to our next hole. We're going to push it all the way up through, bring it down just a little bit. Now here's the trick. Once you figure out how you're holding this, always hold it that way. Don't spin your needle, and I just made that mistake. So I'm going to pull it back out of here and get my thread straightened. And if you notice, the thread, you probably can't see that on this camera, but the thread actually sets in a groove on this needle, or that's in this needle, and then goes through that hole and out the other side. So once you're operating in a certain direction, make sure you keep that direction so that your hoop, when you come through, always stays on there. So there's the loop we want, the one that's not in the groove. We'll take that tag end again. We're going to flip it through there, and then we're just going to pull down, and we're going to lock that in place. And we're going to continue to do this until we get what we want sewn up. And if you notice, we're getting that lock and that loop on both sides of the material. I'll show you that real quick. So we're getting that straight line that's locking and looping all the way across on both sides. Now when you come to the end of this, basically what you want to do, you can, you know, cut tie and, you know, make a knot, or in certain cases, if you want to keep it looking really clean, like on leather or something like that, you'll start working your way backwards, back through the holes that you've already done, and then you can just, you know, cut those off and go from there. So that is, in a nutshell, how you use the Tandy sewing awl. Sewing awl, yes, it's called a sewing awl. I'll leave a link down below so that you can go out and check out Tandy's site to get you one of these. And you know, they sell these in kits, or you can buy just this thing here. You know, it'll come in its own pack. What it comes with when you buy it like this is just this handle, one spool of thread, and one needle, and the little wrench that's in there. So, you know, as soon as you get this, you're ready to go. But if you want to, you know, build you up a little bit of a kit, you know, you can order other spools and other needles and stuff so that you can build your own little kit for your survival gear, your bug out gear, your camping gear, just whichever gear. Maybe even repairing some of those boots that you got around that need a little repair here and there. But yeah, I'll put that down in the description where you can find this, and I hope this helped you out a little bit on some ideas of not working too hard to fix your own gear. And there are alternatives to a sail needle. So there you go, the Tandy Leather Company sewing awl. And I'll leave the link down there. I want to thank you guys for watching. Thanks for thanks for the comments that you made on other videos. Go ahead and ask you again though, please like, subscribe, comment, share, all that good stuff down below. You know, help us build the channel. And until then, we'll see you guys and gals on the next video.